Yellowstone's practically endless natural beauty and grandeur have made it one of the most beloved sites in the national park system. With more than 2.2 million sprawling acres, it's home to more than half the world's active geysers, 290 waterfalls, and over 1,000 miles of hiking trails, making it possible to take it all in. But as just with any outdoor experience, some risks and hazards can come with a visit. And now, officials from Yellowstone National Park have issued a new alert after a handful of recent events have landed some guests in the hospital. Let's start with a video and know more about this unexpected danger. While visiting Yellowstone National Park, numerous people became injured or even died. Throughout the region's history, there have been numerous causes of death, including violent confrontations between people, wagon accidents, falling trees, poisonous gases, drownings, falling into hot springs, and encounters with wildlife. Even in recent years, news stories have reported bison gorings or tossings, bear attacks, and fatal falls due to selfie mishaps. However, contrary to popular belief, one of Yellowstone's most serious threats to visitors is not the abundant and diverse wildlife that millions flock to see, nor is it human error such as falls or traffic accidents. Instead, you're surrounded by an even graver potential danger. Yellowstone's hot, near boiling hydrothermal waters. While some of these thermal features can be seen on the surface, the fragile ground hides much of this geothermal reservoir of hot water beneath the surface. Surprisingly, even though falling into a thermal feature will almost certainly result in third-degree burns or even death, it's not always obvious that visitors to Yellowstone's hydrothermal areas fully understand the grave danger of being severely burned. Visitors frequently disregard the clearly posted cautionary signs, leaving the boardwalk trails, which park rangers and park geologists place at a safe distance from potentially dangerous features. Worse, as park visitation and social media usage increase, some people lose awareness of their surroundings and approach geysers and hot springs too closely to take photos. However, this lack of understanding and respect for the fragility of Yellowstone's thermal features is not a recent issue. Old photos in park visitor centers and hotels show some of the park's first European visitors standing on the unstable ground near the hot springs. There are even photographs of people and bicycles perched on the mammoth terraces and ladies throwing handkerchiefs into the handkerchief pool. Although it's unknown how many visitors have been injured due to ignoring the warning signs due to medical privacy laws, news reports of the more dramatic incidents show that the numbers are surprisingly high. The number of deaths is even more concerning. Since the late 1800s, approximately 20 people have died from interacting with thermal park areas. This figure is significantly higher than the 8 deaths caused by grizzly bears during the same period. Fortunately, if you follow the rules regarding wildlife and thermal areas, you can eliminate these risks. Rules enforced by the park. Due to all these repeated casualties, Yellowstone has issued strict rules like keeping a safe distance from bears, bison, elk, wolves, and other wildlife. According to Yellowstone National Park, stay at least 100 yards away from bears and wolves and at least 25 yards away from elk, bison, and other animals. In addition, stay on established boardwalks and pay attention to signs indicating closures in thermal areas. Unstable ground is common and can conceal boiling water beneath the surface. Even a seemingly innocuous stroll off the boardwalk could result in you breaking through the thin crust and being exposed to boiling water or superheated steam. Recent flood at Yellowstone. Just weeks before the latest warning, Yellowstone National Park was devastated by flooding caused by record-breaking rainfall, which officials described as a 1,000-year event, according to the New York Times. Water surges wreaked havoc on the park's infrastructure, destroying roads, washing out bridges, and blocking paths with mudslides and fallen trees. After evacuating over 10,000 visitors, officials closed all 5 park entrances on June 13th to assess the damage. Park reopening. According to the park, all entrances have been temporarily closed due to extremely hazardous conditions caused by unprecedented rainfall and flooding. Effective immediately, all Yellowstone National Park entrances are temporarily closed due to significant flooding, rock slides, and mudslides in roadways caused by recent unprecedented amounts of rainfall and flooding, the park said in a social media post. No inbound traffic is permitted until conditions stabilize and the park can assess damage to roads and bridges, according to the post. In addition, the north, northeast, west, south, and east entrances are all closed. The park announced on its website recently that no inbound visitor traffic would be permitted later at a minimum. In addition, the northern loop will most likely be closed for an extended period. The park's reopening date will be determined once flood waters have receded and damage has been assessed. Fortunately, the National Park Service, or NPS, announced a week later that the park would reopen in part on June 22nd, with access to Yellowstone's South Loop restricted. They also implemented an alternating license plate system, or ALPS, to help prevent overcrowding by only allowing guests to enter based on the last digit printed on the license plate of their vehicle. However, on June 30th, the NPS announced that it would reopen the North Loop and suspend the ALPS as of July 2nd, restoring access to 93% of the park's roadways despite the closure of two of its major entrances in the north and northeast. Even as visitors return to Yellowstone, officials warned about another issue recently affecting visitors: homes nearby the park. The volcanic system has had a significant and abrupt uplift in the last few months. Rising magma beneath the surface is most likely driving this upward movement. While there is no immediate threat of an eruption, scientists closely monitor the situation. Our first priority has been to evacuate the northern section of the park, where we have multiple road and bridge failures, mudslides, and other issues, said Superintendent Camp Shawley. According to a statement, visitors will be evacuated from the park's southern loop later Monday due to higher flood levels in water and wastewater systems concerns. According to other statements, park staff is collaborating with the county and state to assist residents of Gardiner, Montana, a town just north of the park that's currently isolated due to the dangerous conditions. According to the park's postings, multiple areas are also without power. With more rain forecasted, the park doesn't want large numbers of day-use visitors stranded in the park stated on Facebook and its website. According to National Park Service data from 2014 to 2018, over 780,000 people on average visited the park in June. The river has never been this high by my house before, said Elizabeth Ellick, a resident of Gardiner, a gateway town for visitors. As of Monday afternoon, Ellick stated that she could not evacuate due to washed-out roads and bridges in the area. However, visitors planning to visit Yellowstone National Park in the coming weeks should keep an eye on road conditions, according to the park's advice. Earlier Monday, the park announced in a news release that roads in the park's northern section would be temporarily closed for an extended period before the wider closure. Preliminary assessments show that multiple sections of road in the park between Gardiner and Cook City, Montana have been washed out, and multiple bridges may be affected, the release said, adding that visitors in the northern portion are being evacuated. Flood warnings. Recently, the National Weather Service issued a flood warning for the park, advising campers and hikers to avoid streams and creeks. Turn around, don't drown, the NWS advised drivers who came across flooded roads. The park's Mammoth, Osprey Falls, Indian Creek Campground, and Lava Creek campgrounds are all expected to flood, according to the Weather Service. The Yellowstone River reached record-breaking levels in the Montana towns of Corwin Springs and Livingston on Monday. According to National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration river gauge data, the river rose more than 5 feet at Corwin Springs on Monday morning. On Monday afternoon, the gauge read 13.85 feet, surpassing the previous high crest of 11.5 feet set in 1918. Livingston's river gauge read a record 10.9 feet. According to CNN meteorologists, June precipitation has been more than 400% of average across northwestern Wyoming and southern Montana. Do you think that Yellowstone Park is under actual threat? Comment below and let us know.